intoxicating, these M5s. I love them, I love them, I love them. Eric Keller here, Enthusiast Auto Group. Today we're at EAG Super Secret Warehouse number 1, and we are going to go do what I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and that's get you behind the wheel, take you for a spin in my first true love, a 1988 BMW M5. These E28s they're remarkable cars. They just exude pure driving confidence at every opportunity. It's such a great driving car. They all have buku miles on them these days. Finding a really good one is painstakingly difficult. Even if it has low mileage, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a really great turnkey car for you. And having serviced and rejuved so many of these cars, it's just very, very difficult to find them in great shape. These 4 behind me have less than 50,000 miles, each single one. And this is a 40,000 mile car that's been owned and loved by some pretty notable enthusiasts in the community. It's a fantastic car with a great service history. We have several of these that are not even on the market yet, not listed. And we'd love to have those conversations with those next potential enthusiasts and caretakers to go write their own chapter. So if you're interested in buying one of these, if you're interested in just learning more, if you have a great M car, even just any BMW that you really think is top level condition and you want to keep it in a great home, do reach out. We'd love to have that conversation and do just that, keep it on the right path. We're gonna have a lot of fun driving this car. I'm not gonna hold back too much. I can't. It's just the self-control has left me when I drive E28s. I mean, that's the car that just blew my mind and created, well, what you see here today at EAG. So do stay tuned. If you like the video, hit that button on the bottom, that thumbs up. If you want to see more like the M1 or the Sport Evo that's coming up, certainly subscribe, and let's go have some fun. Listen, love this sound. I almost like that as much as the sound of the doors opening and closing. Yeah, I might be a geek, but I'm a car geek. It all started for me with an E28 M5, my passion and love for the brand, everything M. And I have to say that the ownership experience of an E28 M5 literally changed my life. And it has guided my career and now passion for these cars. And well, it only takes one drive, and right back there. Man, it's a great car. And you can do just about anything you need to do with a car with an M5. And it all started for all the other M5s to follow because of how great the E28 M5 was. And it's a great car. Oh, yeah. I almost did that little commercial, that Road and Track article there over the hill. Yeah, that'd be a cool video. The ownership story with this M5 is actually pretty cool. The main focal points of the ownership go back to basically Stan Sim. Stan Sim is a very well-known and very well-respected BMW car club member enthusiast, and one of the early adopters to the M88 platform with the M6, the Euro M6s, and of course the E28 M5s. And he curated a newsletter called the M Register, or M Registry, and it was at first a periodical that was sent out, I believe, quarterly, and it was just what's going on in the community, what's going on in the M-car world, this new brand that has taken on its own identity within BMW. And it was pretty well followed and trafficked, and a lot of good writers and a lot of good articles about just the cars. And that was 1995 he owned this M5, and that gentleman certainly knows his way around E28 M5s, and he goes on to later create what is called the BMW M Registry, which is a website where you can go and register your VIN number and put your flag on your M5 or M3 or any of the other specialty M cars. But that started out as a registry for just the E28 M5s to begin with. And now many thousands of cars are registered on there, and very happy to align with the now curator of the M Registry. He took over in I think 2000, 2001, and the primary guy is good old Mr. Clark. Shout out, been a really great friend for almost 2 decades, and he's certainly taught me a lot about the E28 M5 that I frankly didn't know, and most of my information over the years within the E28 M5 community has come from Mr. Clark, and he's been a very good friend and friend of the community too. A lot of people know who I'm talking about. Certainly knows his stuff relative to the M cars, especially of course these wolves in sheep's clothing. And the car then made its way out west to Washington and was owned by Mr. Allen, and he owned the car. He was the primary owner from 95 until when we purchased the car in 2018. To say this gentleman loved and took care of this car is a massive understatement. He was a very great owner, a very fastidious custodian towards the maintenance and the overall care and preservation of the car. And the service records in the book binder, just reading through and reading even the commentary and the notes and just all the technical information that was gathered. It was just a really well cared for car, frankly. And I have to take my hat off to him for reaching out to us and giving us the opportunity to become a part of this car's life and help write the future chapters. And that's exactly what we've done. The most recent owner now, good old Paul Zuckerman, he owned and enjoyed the car out in Southern California. You've probably maybe seen some of his pictures of the car and, on his Instagram, and heard about in various podcasts that he does. But he's definitely a lover of the analog M, and he had a great time with the car and simply was ready to go for another change, try another analog M car, and he's now sporting several EAG cars, most recently Evolution 2 E30 M3 and an M635 CSI, another M88 powered car, where of course this is the S38, and he's having a great time with that M6 and the Evo 2, I'm sure. But we're having a blast to the M5. Oh man, this car is just something else. You can't not downshift. Listen to this as we tear up this hill. That is a proper inline 6-cylinder. One of the other things about the E28 M5 is the greenhouse. It is a very open space that gives you a very confidence-inspiring situational awareness of what's going on everywhere around you. Like the new class cars, it has a very low belt line with the door and a perfect, I mean perfect, arm-to-window ratio. It's sublime. The performance level of this M5 is a little bit stepped up over a stock E28, and certainly tailored towards the driving enthusiast. That is certainly clear. It just enough. The sounds that these cars make are just perfect. I mean, it really reminds you that you're driving a 80s era car that was really well built, hand built in fact. And I think that just adds a lot to the, you know, the experience, frankly. It's such a beautiful day in Cincinnati that I can't help but park for a second. I think I might take you for a quick lap around the exterior of this car, and then we're gonna head back up the hill. So if you've ever wondered what the camera gear looks like, it's just a bunch of GoPros and this iPhone and then this silly dope behind it. I am certainly enjoying this car. I really miss having an E28 M5 to run around with, almost as a daily driver. So I'm going to drive this car here for the rest of the week, and I am very much looking forward to it, and then giving it a very comprehensive bath when we're all done, and using our special undercarriage wands that go on the pressure washer and just clean every inch of this thing, because, you know, it's probably going to be about as dirty as it has been in a very long time. It has a vinyl tricolor M pinstripe down the side that I'm sure was part of the goodies added by the Enthusiast owner, probably in the mid-90s. We do have a Zuckerman special MagnaFlow exhaust system that he's added to make the car a little bit his own. It does have the Euro headlights as well, which is quite a nice touch. You'll see the smaller inner high beam there that frankly gives it the right look. The interior of the car is just, it's almost perfect. I hate the word perfect when talking about used cars, but for 32 years old and 40,700 miles, probably 41,000 miles by the time I'm done. This is probably one of the rarest and most unique things you will ever see on an E28. It is a BMW accessory that is a glass moonroof that does have a sliding sunshade. Look at this. For you E28 aficionados, how many have seen that before? That was not an inexpensive option. I believe that is in the records as well. And yeah, they don't get much cleaner and nicer than this. It's one of the best in the world, frankly. Let's jump back in and tear up that hill. I love these sounds. Listen, love this sound. I almost like that as much as the sound of the doors opening and closing. Yeah, I might be a geek, but I'm a car geek. Another great thing about the M5s, they are quite respectable in terms of the performance level and the power output, but yet you can still drive pretty much most of the power band, first, second, third, get even into fourth a bit, and you're not getting too crazy with it, and it's an exciting experience. It certainly hits all of the car guy buttons, and I mean, you can tell, I mean, this lights me up. It's a lot of fun. It's a great platform. This engine just sounds absolutely marvelous. I appreciate everybody tuning in to this M5 video. I hope you have enjoyed your test drive in the former Zuckerman M5. Oh, it's just intoxicating, these M5s. I I love them. I love them. I love them. I know you will too. We do have quite a few available at the moment. This is actually a record number of E28 M5s on hand at EAG in our history. If you would like to have a bit of a pick of the litter scenario, well, you know how that comes about. Pick up the phone, give us a call, or you can send me an email as well. I'd be happy to have a conversation, send you over the data file, go over all of the history of any of these M5s that you've seen in the video today. And then there are some more that are not yet listed that will be coming to the market soon. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks for hitting that subscribe and that like button, and do stay tuned for a whole lot more. We've got some really cool cars in the pipeline. Very excited to share them with you. So thanks again. See ya. On ramps. The urban track environment. Getting honks from truckers. That's new.